Hey guys, Marc Millan here. I'm a worship leader and I want to talk to you today about owning your story. Your story is so important to who you are. I want to share parts of mine and then I want to leave you with a question. So I was born and raised in the Bronx, New York, down by University Avenue, right next to the Amsterdam Bridge. If you've ever driven in the Bronx, you know exactly where that is. And I was raised in the projects. If you don't know what the projects are, they're kind of like city housing. Now when I look back and I look at the pictures, I'm amazed that I was actually raised there. But that's where I was raised, and I was raised in a Christian home. My mom and my dad were pastors at a church. Now it was a Pentecostal church under the Assemblies of God denomination. And so charismatic, long services. It was a Spanish church, so there's another element to complexity with that. But I grew up in that environment. And as I grew up, and I got saved when I was 13, gave my life to Christ in a youth camp in upstate New York. When I came back from that, I had this desire to want to do music. I had never had that desire up until that point. Not the way I remember it anyway. So I started pursuing like music lessons for piano, got interested in playing the guitar, got interested in singing, and then as I went into high school, I started being part of the band there and joining competitions. Anyway, all that led me to buying some equipment, to start writing some songs, and then landing a record deal. So I had a record deal with Sony BMG. BMG at the time was separated from Sony and they merged. And long story short, around 2003, 2004, I was under a record contract with a record that was not gonna come out. And I was heartbroken and I was devastated because up until that point, I thought my whole life would make sense in the music industry. That led me to a local church, and a local church that was doing setup and teardown. And right in that season, I was part of a songwriting competition. Actually, just in South America, I flew down there and I competed in a songwriting competition. You can find that video on YouTube. The event was called Vina del Mar, and it was a life-changing experience because I lost my voice on my way there. And losing your voice before probably your biggest opportunity in competition was devastating for me. Changed my life. I call it my Samson moment. I remember being in the hotel asking God that if he would give me my voice back, I would give it back to him. And not being able to talk or speak 2 days before I had to sing in front of a televised stadium with 20,000 people was nerve-wracking. The Lord gave me my voice back, and I'll never forget it. It changed my life, gave me my convictions. And so this is the part I wanted to leave you with. Part of your story is owning all of that. And I think it's hard for worship leaders to own their whole story. The failures I've had in my life, the hard parts of my life, make me who I am. They give me my sense of core beliefs and my convictions. So how are you embracing your story? And how are you sharing that with others? Because that's what makes you so unique, and that's what makes me so unique. Being owners of our story helps others understand that they're not alone and that they can grow. So what's your story? I'd love to hear it.